In the same way you want to wear your raincoat for the April showers, this week you want to armor yourself with clarity for the big alignments that are coming as we head towards the third quarter moon this Friday evening, which will be in the sign of humanitarian Aquarius. So the first of these three comes Monday, when we're going to have some fireworks. The sun is going to bump into the god of lightning, so that's a lot of fire, and I'm going to add to that in just a few minutes. The second thing this week is that Pluto, that lord of the underworld, the call for metamorphosis, deep transformation, is going to take us through a short journey through hell, the land of mystery, because he's going to turn retrograde this Wednesday for the next 4 months. So look for major issues around construction, reconstruction, or it could turn to jockeying for positions that create enormous power struggles. The third thing is, well, first of all, deceit is discouraging, is it not? The French call it ennui, world weariness. There's a sense of despair that can overtake us unless we're seeing clearly. Because the first, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll have some battle fatigue sapping our energy and tempting us to give up. But remember, we never, ever do. So welcome, I'm Judith Royal. I'm an archetypal astrologer, and this is your astrology weather forecast for the week of April 22nd to the 28th, 2019. And we've just completed that 30-day relationship sandwich challenge, which was from the first Libra full moon on March 20th to the second one on April 19th. And we were really called to release resentments and judgments that we have built as a wall between ourselves and those we want to love. And so I asked, what was your takeaway? I noticed that full moon made the news, and National Geographic published a story about the lunar effect, a cute title called Why Oysters Close on the Full Moon, and More Odd Lunar Effects. So they did a great job of giving us some scientist discoveries. In particular, studies that show a lot of types of animals whose biological clocks, like ours, are finely tuned to the cycles of the moon. It drives fascinating and sometimes bizarre patterns of behavior, their words. But my words would be, haven't you already noticed this in yourself and in others, right? They list the sandhopper, who you could find on some British beaches, they have both lunar clock and a solar clock in their antenna, but also in the brain. So that was some surprising discovery. But noticing our circadian rhythms, I think we've all been reading up on that at some time in our lives and noticing how aggressive behavior peaks on full moons. In fact, professionals who have been observers of psychotic behavior are likely the ones who coined the word lunatic, obviously the root word being lunar. So it's been forever that we've noticed that because we're mostly water in our bodies, right? We have emotional tides in the same way the oceans have tides. And the culprit there is the moon always pulling us towards her. She starts our week in the sign of truth-telling Sagittarius. So Monday morning, April 22nd, is going to find many people, pulling out their soapboxes and maybe shouting a little too loudly about all the changes that they think should be made in our world. And it is Earth Day, and so there is certainly going to be lots of discussion about our self-destruction at work in the world. And I think we will be uncomfortable enough, many people will be, that it, in a good way, forces us to use our vision to see, our spiritual sight, that is, rather than the unreliable perceptions of the body's eyes. So shifting to use vision rather than perception is the beautiful shift we can all take part in. Then last week, I want to say, one of you brilliant stargazers gave me a great insight. You said to me, "Hey, Judith, I have already pulled back that curtain on Oz. I know what's behind it." So that's a great way to think of that metaphor in how you're going to choose to see the happenings of this week, but also for the rest of your life. So Monday morning, through the fog that we're going to feel, we have fierceness, our choice, instead of anger. And either one, whichever way we go, it's augmenting, it's growing. So the sun is in the Rock of Gibraltar, Taurus, Monday, and is going to join side by side with the god of lightning, as I mentioned before. So the god of lightning has been in the sign of earthy Taurus since March the 9th. You may remember this, giving us 2 green thumbs that we can use to grow things from this electrifying energy that is Uranus, and is always, always a wake-up call. In particular, because it's Taurus, money-wise Taurus, it is about our economy, and it is about our definition of what is valuable. What is abundance? What does it mean for you? If you said, "Oh, I want a life of abundance," what are you really calling in towards you in your life? So we're having a radical shift here, and Monday is a little trigger for that, as we're adopting, and we really are going to be forced to adopt some new and very innovative definitions of the word valuable. It would make sense that all of you who have a sun or a moon sign in an earth sign, as Taurus is, so that would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, it seems that this would be a really easy adjustment for you to make. But the difficulty is, although you've got 2 green thumbs going for you, you can get stuck in a rut, right? You've got great determination. We're all working on our perseverance. However, this is about change. It's not about rewriting or re-evaluating. It's about something brand new, and that's not always comfortable for you earth signs. For water signs, this is prime time because, earth holds water. There's a beautiful compatibility for all of you who are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces to take advantage of this time to enrich your lives by taking a deeper dive into your childhood values and conditioning, and really allow the metamorphosis that wants to happen there. It will actually be very comfortable for you to do this right now. So wonderful time for you. And now fire signs, that's going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. By your nature, you are pioneering and innovative. And so it sounds like this would be right up your alley. However, you like to move faster than any of this Taurus energy will accompany. It just won't work. And so you're likely to feel impatient or feel like you're just running into hurdles. And in a way, you are. So the key always is to slow down, but let this fire build within yourself, like the lava deep in the earth. So rather than taking action every time you feel the impulse to do so. And in that way, you'll work with this beautifully. From the excitement and sizzle of Monday, we go into 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with the moon having moved into Capricorn, making Tuesday one of the most fortunate days, not only of this week, but of this month. It has good fortune attached to it, and it has ease of making these changes. And it's a day for great clarity of stopping to think before you act in particular. Now, Wednesday, there's a little bit more of a rub because, as I mentioned earlier, that's the day that Pluto is going to sort of pull us in deeper, maybe than we would like to go, into our memories and to our conditioning. But it's going to be a quick journey through hell where we can release and forgive what we have buried there. And then Thursday, the moon still in Capricorn makes its big, powerful connections with Sheriff Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, triggering once again that alignment that is going to perfect. We're really moving closer and closer, tighter and tighter, is going to perfect in January of 2020. And that whole month you need to circle in red with gold stars because it begins a new 33-year cycle in which the landscape of our economy, the structure of things like corporations, etc., banks, will be completely different. And that, of course, means that this year, on the way to that, these two guys, Pluto and Saturn, are sort of like a wrecking ball against the outgrown values that must leave us, and as well as structures, both in law and economy and within our own selves, of course, first. Because within us, the change comes and then it moves outside of us. We see it manifest. So between now and then, if we can, even though we feel the tectonic plates shifting below us on the very ground that we stand on, we do not want to let fear enter this picture because there are many signs astrologically, and you feel it within yourself, that hope is not only warranted, it's going to be easy to hold on to because Jupiter in Sagittarius is lifting our horizons. And we feel hope and we see things possible for us that we've never thought we had the confidence to accomplish before. And that is all available because we have the enthusiasm and optimism of knowing that the main thing, in fact, the only thing we can control in any of this is our thoughts. And we can, with Sagittarius as the great teacher of this, decide to have loving thoughts instead of fearful thoughts. And of course, as we do that within, we manifest that without. And so the theme for this year remains letting go, releasing resentments and judgments, which brings me back to ask you once again, What was your takeaway from last week's full moon and that month of looking at your relationships? I would like to suggest that what was offered us is that we move to knowing the temple of love itself is not in a body. It's in our relationships. So thanks for listening. You can always reach me for your individual reading. Email judith@judithroyal.com. Thanks so much for being with me in this. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.